Hello, cryptocurrency fans. Welcome to Crypto Traders Room, and which majority of you know, Crypto Traders Room is a place where we eat, drink, sleep, dream, trade, and invest in cryptocurrencies. So let's see what is going on in the market today. And hopefully everybody's having a great Friday, great start to the weekend. And I just want to remind everybody that, as majority of you know, because you've been with me since day one, that I'm not a licensed financial advisor, and that some of the things that I do talk about are not to be considered as a trading advice. So if that is something that you're looking for, please consult a licensed advisor for that. And the information I provide is for educational purposes only, and that's all that they should be used for. But thank you so much for joining on this Friday morning or evening or afternoon, depending where you're located. Luca, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. And hopefully the audio and the video share is working properly. But what is going on today in this crazy Wild Wild West cryptocurrency market? A lot of crazy things happened yesterday when I wasn't on my computer. We're actually out looking for a house, considering we're house shopping. But yeah, some crazy moves, some crazy up and down swings, and I hope a lot of people protected their profit. If they were in the profit, or if they were looking to get in, that would have been a perfect entry to get in for a nice quick scalp. On Bitfinex we had what was it? Ethereum come down to 155, and then get right back up to that, possibly 197. Coinbase, BTC had a nice drop. I mean, almost 600 bucks. That's huge. Taking it from that 2,800 to about 2,225. So that'd have been a great buying opportunity for somebody that was just looking to buy one or two, and then kind of ride it up for a $400 gain. So huge swings, and I wish I was at my computer to be able to take advantage of some of these swings, because I would have probably bought one or two Bitcoins just to get the $200-300 profit off of that. But the day before yesterday, I attempted to do a little bit of arbitrage, and I'll explain exactly what happened. So I was able to buy a little over 50 Ethereums at 177 on Bitfinex, because it actually had a nice drop on Bitfinex, and the difference was about 27 bucks on Coinbase. So I was like, all right, you know what? Let me buy it, move it, make a little quick 1,300 bucks. And the transfer actually wasn't too bad. Total transfer was about 20 minutes, which I didn't think was too bad at all. Really, it took 5 minutes to go from Bitfinex to Coinbase, but then Coinbase held it for 15 minutes, and in that 15 minutes, it had actually dropped to $85 or $86. So I mean, that was still a nice profit. Um, of basically 10 bucks, which would have given me 500. But I basically went from $1,500 possible profit, in attempting to make that transfer down to a $500 profit. And I mean, it's still up, and I am up from that 177 purchase. But I wish that Coinbase wouldn't have held it for 15 minutes, because I would have basically provided that perfect opportunity to buy low at one exchange and to sell it high at a different exchange. So that was a somewhat of a failure, but it's still up. So I'm not really too concerned about it, but I'm still looking for that exit at 207, at least a $30 profit per coin, and that would give me the 1,500 that I was really expecting to get within a matter of 10-15 minutes. Coinbase hadn't held that deposit for 15 minutes or so, but it happens, I guess. And that's the crazy thing about arbitrage, is you have to be able to plan it, and Coinbase has to be working. So I mean, if I had made the transfer and it went through and Coinbase went down, because I know they were having some little minor issues yesterday, there's no way for you to be able to do that arbitrage and take advantage of that price swing. Let's see. What do I think about price on Ethereum? Ethereum Classic still up, or will? I mean, to be honest with you, that's why I titled this. This is a minor correction. But really before the big sell-off, and I've seen these in the stock market where they'll have a little minor correction, and really, I mean, 600 bucks you would think on BTC is a major correction, but that came down so fast, so quick, that if it was to be a major correction, they would walk it down slowly. So I mean, it came down 600 bucks. It had to be a coordinated attack between a couple big wells, because really, I mean, ETC came down, Ethereum came down, BTC came down. I mean, they all came down at that same moment. So this was definitely a coordinated attack, and this is just the start of a coordinated attack. So right now, I think what their plans, the big whales, what their plans are, is to take profit at the top, which they did at 2,800, bring it down, trap little investors. So basically, big investors are trying to trap little investors. So big bulls are trying to trap little bulls in this market. And the price did drop. where people bought, thought it was a great buying opportunity, and hopefully they're not holding long term, expecting for something bigger. It's just a little minor correction, nice little uptick, but the bigger correction is coming, and it'll happen soon. And that's just kind of what I see happening. So I mean, I would be afraid to hold long term on anything, to be honest with you guys. But today, ETC on Bitfinex is up 17 bucks. I mean, they're all down 13% on ETC, 12% on Ethereum, Litecoin 13%, Bitcoin's down 8%. So these are huge drops that they're seeing, but I think the bigger drop is coming, and it'll happen when we're least expecting it, to be honest with you guys. Abdullah, welcome, buddy. Hope all's well. And I'm going to mute this microphone for a second. All right, sorry about that. Let me see if I can get some of these comments. Arbitrage, Abdullah, you spell it Arbitrage. Luca, you're asking which is best point to buy ETC and Ethereum? What do you mean best point? At what price? Or at what exchange? Yeah, if you want to clarify that, I'll be happy to answer that question for you. But let's take a look and see if anything is really up today. Ripple up 5%, Doji up 2%, BTS up 12%. But yeah, everything else is in the red. Features on BTC is down almost 14%. Features on Litecoin, 21%. I mean, that's huge. So people are losing faith in the price of Litecoin at this current moment. Now that could change. If we get a nice little correction back down to that 22, 23, I think the sentiment will change on features. But yeah, for Ethereum Classic, and I've said it in the past on a couple of videos, I was waiting for that pump, and that pump happened. I mean, it went basically from $8 to, what did it go up to, 22 bucks? I got to really look at the chart. But that's huge for it to go up that much, that fast. I mean, we got to expect a correction. I mean, hopefully, not everybody was expecting it to get up to 30 bucks. I thought it would kind of push it at 25, but for it to get to 22.75 from $8, I mean, that's huge. And I hope you guys locked in profits at that point. I'm still holding my 250, and I just kind of told myself that I was going to be holding it for a bigger pump, and I think a bigger pump is going to happen on ETC. And I think it just kind of showed us what it's capable of doing, and money will flow into ETC. Lusa, on Ethereum Classic, I would look for that bottom, and that bottom looks to be, maybe under 14. And that's if you're looking to just kind of trade it. If you're looking to hold long term, I would wait for a bigger dip, to be honest with you. I think it'll kind of bottom out in that somewhere in the range of $9, and that's just kind of my speculation. But if it bottoms out at that 9, that's a great entry for a long term position. But if you're just looking to trade it, hold it for a couple minutes, a couple hours, whatever it might be, depending on your risk tolerance, I would look at that $14. That seems to be a very good support, considering it dropped to 1401, and then it dropped to 14 and bounced right back. So that's a great little entry at 14 bucks. And then I would be looking to get out at 17, somewhere in that range. Yeah, I'll check that out, Abdullah. I'm not I haven't heard too much about BitHump, but I will definitely look at that. Yeah, Ethereum to be 250. Yeah, that's crazy. It's definitely manipulated on that exchange for some apparent reason. Yeah, to get the true accurate price, the true representation, I mean, I would look at some of the well-known exchanges, Gemini, Coinbase. I would kind of look at their prices, and then kind of have a better idea of what the actual price should be. Joseph, welcome. Yeah, I expect a big drop. Now, remember, I mean, I could be completely wrong. That's just my speculation. Um, that was just a little minor dip that we had, even though, they came down a good amount. I mean, Ethereum Classic came down from 22 down to 14. BTC dropped 600 bucks. I mean, that's huge. It is a nice drop, especially if somebody was able to capitalize off that drop. Buy it at 22.50, whatever it might be, and sell at 26.50. I mean, that's 400 bucks there. But I think the bigger drop is coming. Um, like I said, it's just the thing is, big whales don't want to drop this heavily, and they could drop it heavily if they unloaded everything that they had. But they're not going to unload everything that they have and cause a massive panic. What they're going to do is drop it to a point where little traders like myself and everybody else that's just a retail investor, that doesn't have millions of dollars to invest in this. They're going to think, oh wow, this is a perfect buying opportunity for me to get in here and hold long term because this dropped 600 bucks. But that's just a way for big bulls to trap little bulls, and it happens with short sellers. Big bears are always trying to trap little bears into getting into a position thinking it's on this way down, as they're cashing out. But yeah, I think the drop is coming. But who knows when it's going to happen? It's going to be least expected. Like I didn't expect it to drop, from 28 to 22 within a matter of, was that maybe like hour and a half? I think I was driving out to look at the place, and the place I was driving to was probably like 20 minutes away. When I just kind of briefly looked at my phone, I was like, oh man, it's dropping. Um, but yeah, it's just it was a crazy drop, but it's something that was kind of expected, to be honest with you. I mean, it ran up so high so quick that it's going to have a correction, and this is just a minor correction. It's a minor pullback before the bigger pullback happens. Yeah, Abdullah, I'll definitely have to research that later on. I don't want to have to spend time to research it on a live stream, but I'll definitely look at their exchange. But yeah, a lot of these exchanges are, you just got to be very careful with them. I wouldn't put too much in them, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, if you could utilize arbitrage, buy it at 177, buy it at 180, and transfer it over and sell it for 250. That's huge. As long as there aren't going to be any hiccups. Yeah, you still got to play it safe. But Abdullah, are you still holding your 200,000 Ripple position? And I definitely want to welcome the new viewers that are joining this live stream. And if you haven't done so already, please click on that subscribe button as well as the post notification button so that you're notified every time a video is uploaded or every time I schedule a live stream. And you can definitely stay connected with us on Steemit, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Snapchat, and sign up for our mailing list. We are going to be giving away some chat memberships, our general chat room, but then you'll have the ability to be able to upgrade it to actual real traders chat room. So definitely, look us up and sign up for that mailing list. And if you're already in our general chat room, our CTR water cooler, we will be giving you guys the ability to upgrade as well too. Yeah, Joseph, I mean, big whales are not going to pass up the opportunity to, unload a good amount of their position. Um, and then, I mean, what my speculation is what they did is they basically put in buy orders at what they thought they would be able to take the price down to. And to be honest with you guys, I mean, if somebody has a lot of money, they can buy insiders information. If I had millions of dollars, I could probably find somebody on Coinbase or GDAX to pay them a little bribe to get some insiders information about, where people stacked up that are looking to buy or where people stacked up to be able to be able to sell, and be able to use that information to drive the price down to where they're actually setting a low buy limit as well too, as they're unloading their position at a higher price for a higher profit. But they're probably not purchasing a lot. They're probably just purchasing a little bit to bring the price back up to not really cause it to crash drastically. So I mean, they're playing the game, and they know how to play the game. And retail investors, like myself, sometimes can fall trap to that, thinking it's a great opportunity to buy in. Now, if you're just scalping it, you're just in and out. I mean, this is the opportunity to make money. But as a long-term investor, I would definitely be very cautious. If you have a trusted friend in Korea, is it a good idea? Good idea for what? Abdullah, that's awesome. You make 20,000 today trading at through the Korean exchange. That is sweet, man. I definitely love to hear about you guys making money. And I mean, if you guys could do me a favor and leave a comment at the end of this video, when the video uploads, because right now these comments that are in the chat will not carry over to the actual video when it gets uploaded. But yeah, please, I mean, leave me a testimonial on the video. Leave me a comment. And if you guys are commenting, I'll throw out a little contest. If you guys are commenting on the videos and your video happens to have the most likes, you will actually win. And I'll do this once a week. So once a week from the 3 videos that are uploaded to YouTube, you leave a comment and your comment has the most likes, you will actually win a free membership to our actual traders chat room. It's not going to be the Water Kudo chat room, but it'll be the actual traders chat room. So once a week, I will pick, I'll look at the comments and I'll figure out, who has the most likes on their comment, and we'll send them out an invitation to join our Slack chat room. So, the best thing to do is, leave a comment and get all your friends and families to go in and like that comment. And so, like I said, the more comments you have, the better. So you'll definitely get that free membership. Let's see, Abdullah, you just need to have a friend there to use a Korean mobile number for the account. Oh, that's interesting. So that there are loopholes. There are ways around it. Yeah, I was really looking at XRP. I really wanted to look at it when it was at 27, and then I said, you know what? There's just major selling that's happening across the whole market. There's no sense in me getting in at that price. And I actually had set a price to buy 50,000 at like a little over 19 cents, and of course, it never came down to that price. Yeah, it got down to like on Bitfinex, it got down to like a little over 22 cents, and then I think on Poloniex, it got down to 19 cents, something to that extent. Yeah, I think some of the very popular cryptocurrencies like of course the BTC, the LTC, and Ethereum Classic, Ripple, in Korea they can definitely be pumped on some of those exchanges. So you can definitely see a huge price difference in the same cryptocurrency depending on what exchange you're looking at. I mean, with Ethereum, it was a difference of $25 between Bitfinex and GDAX, and that's huge. That's a big difference. I mean, if you're buying 50 and transferring it, and as long as that transfer goes through right away, I mean, you're looking at making 13 to 1500 bucks instantly just from that transfer. Yep, Abdullah, yeah, that's what it was. 19 cents on Poloniex on USDT. And I mean, and USDT has made a comeback. I mean, it was as low as 91 cents. So it has definitely made a comeback. Yeah, Jay, I don't know. I mean, maybe Abdullah would know. I don't know if you need to be a resident of Korea in order to start an account. Because I know Coinbase, Gemini, Bitfinex will limit you depending on where your primary place of residency is. That's why a lot of people use VPN, so they're not able to determine where you're currently residing to determine whether they're going to block you or not. All right, but yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at. I think I got to all the comments, but let's go ahead and take a look at a little bit of analytical work on. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. We'll draw out some trend lines and see exactly what the trend is. Of course, it's downtrending from its high, but we'll draw out a couple of trend lines. Man, big swing, huge swing. I mean, this is a day trader's dream to see these type of swings that are happening. I mean, this drop from 28.06 down to what is the actual price? 22.26. I mean, that basically happened in a matter of, let's see, let's just say 2.5 hours, something to that extent. I mean, that's just a huge drop in 2.5 hours. I mean, it should have gradually, grinded down instead of just violently falling. And that's really what's scary at this moment, for BTC to be this high and having that violent $600 dip. What's to say that it's not going to have a $1,000 dip in a matter of, minutes? But let's go ahead and draw out some support lines, and that's basically looking at the 15-minute chart. So really support should be right here, right at the top of this high that it made before coming down in 1975, and then of course made that huge run to 2800, which was just crazy. So that is going to be a good area of support. Let's take a look at a larger time frame and see exactly where this thing has been. But yeah, I mean, this chart is just impressive. It's just there's nothing really slowing it down. And reason why I think the bigger sell off is coming is let's take a look at this drop here. This drop was from about 1883 to about 1608. So I mean, $280, let's just say. And it was a nice, healthy correction where profit taking was just happening on the way down. It wasn't a violent, crazy dip like this dip here that we're seeing. Let me put a circle around it. If this thing will cooperate with me. That's a little minor dip, a little more major of a dip. And so this really doesn't scare me. This is healthy. It's a healthy correction. And let me put a circle on this one. To me, that's a healthy correction. It needed that. And then grind it up slowly. Very nice. It wasn't really, especially on the 1 hour chart, it wasn't really a parabolic move that just completely shot straight up. It grinded up nicely. Had a nice little pullback. It didn't really pull back the way I would like it to pull back, like it did here on this first circle. But it pulled back, and it provided some great opportunities for people to get in at that 1975. And then, of course, goes up over 1,000. In a matter of, what was that, from the 23rd to the 26th? I mean, in 3 days, maybe less than 3 days, to go up that much so fast, so quick, and that's why we have this crazy correction here, and that's just a crazy drop of $600, a little over $600. And there's going to be more of these drops that are going to be happening, and as people put in, limit orders to sell, it's going to cause that huge domino effect, and this really could come down. And if I had to really guesstimate, and these are only my opinions, guys, so please don't take this as trading advice. So I'm not telling you to sell if you are holding a position. But I mean, if this thing was really come down and have a major correction, of course, it's got the first area of support there. But then the one that I would be really looking at, let me put the line here, is going to be this level of support. And that's right around the 1880, let's just say 1875, somewhere in that range there. That's going to be the correction that actually I think we will see. And for it to come down, 1,000 from its high of 2806, it's going to be a very crazy correction that will happen. Now, whether we get there, with 2 hours worth of candlesticks, or we gradually grind down within 3 days to that level. But that's really the level that I'm currently looking at to see maybe I should buy one or two in the hopes that it gets it right back up to that 2,800 bucks. Nygaard Gaming, welcome. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Nygaard, I think a lot of people are new to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's not that old, 8 years old. So, everybody's just basically kind of a newbie. Yeah, that would be a huge correction, Joseph. That would be a huge correction, and I think that's a correction that it needs. But it doesn't need to get there on a violent dip. It needs to gradually grind to that to kind of indicate, you know what, this is a healthy correction. It's just grinding down to it. It's not a major sell-off, major crazy dips that are happening, and that's where a lot of money is going to be lost when it just violently dips, like it did from 28.06 to 22.26. I mean, that's huge. And I mean, if we see that kind of dip happen, you know, from currently where it's at right now it's at 24.23. I mean, if she dips $600, that puts it right at 18.23, and it could easily do that. And I think yesterday it did it at what, 12:30ish, something to that extent. I mean, it was pretty good at 10 a.m. and then by 11, 12 at 12 o'clock, I was in the car driving. It started to dip heavily. So yeah, that's a major indicator to me that there's more to come, and that this isn't going to be a just a little minor correction for another push up to 3,000. No, it could easily do that, especially with new people piling in, thinking, "Whoa, you know, Bitcoin just tanked." I wouldn't consider this a tank at all. So there are traders out there, or new traders, that are looking at this and be like, "Wow, it came down heavily. Let me get in here." And that's what big traders want you to think. You know, they want you to bring this back up so then they can dump it more. They want you to bring it back up again so they can start dumping more. And they're probably buying just a little bit at the bottom to get the price action to move up. But yeah, don't let that fool you. I know I'm missing some of these comments, so I do apologize. But thank you to all the guys that are, you know, everybody that's joining, 24 that are currently viewing this right now. That's awesome. And if you do find this video helpful, please click on that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Click on that post notification button, as well as staying connected with us. And there are links at the bottom of this video for you to stay connected with us. Let's see what other questions I'm missing here. And I do apologize if I missed a question. Nygaard, you just got your Bitcoin wallet 5 minutes ago. That's awesome, man. Welcome to the crazy wild, wild west cryptocurrency market. Bart, what do you think? I'm not sure about your question. Do I think it's going to crash more in the sense of BTC or ETC or Ethereum? Trevor, you're in Vietnam. You caught, let me see, what are you saying here? You caught me 15 minutes in. Looking forward to seeing the beginning. Seeing some charts saying 1750 to 1800. Hope it does. Yeah, I believe that. So whoever's saying 1750 to 1800, I don't know who's saying that, and I don't know really their reputation or their motive behind it. You know, they could be shorting. So you know, I would be very careful about, you know, the propaganda that people are putting out, because you really don't know their motives behind it. You know, they could have shorted this thing at 2500, and they want that drop to 1750, 1800 so they could cover their short position. But yeah, but you know, I firmly believe that 1750, 1800, you know, 1850 could be in sight. I just don't know when it's going to happen. It's probably going to happen when we're all sleeping and not really paying attention to this. Or, you know, I'm driving to pick up my daughter from daycare, and you know, you get a nice crazy 15-minute candle that just starts taking out crazy stop losses. Andreas, welcome. You're asking who's ready for ETC to go to the moon. Dude, it already had the pump, you know, the pump that I talked about, you know, when it was at $7 when I bought it, for it to get up to 22.75, 22.80, whatever it was. That was the pump, man. That was the pump. Now this might be the calm before the storm, you know, for the storm to possibly have it get down to $10. But yeah, I think, you know, if you didn't get in at that 7, 8, maybe $10, you know, and get out in the $20 range, yeah, you might have missed the pump. But you know, if it gets down to 14, I mean, I'm still holding that position, and I'm holding more of Ethereum right now at a higher price of 177, which I'm still in the profit, considering I try to arbitrage it. But you know, majority of my funds are currently stashed away on Coinbase or GDAX. But yeah, I will not be buying any more Ethereum Classic unless I get more funds over to Bitfinex. But there's no sense in me trying to arbitrage things now from Coinbase or GDAX to Bitfinex, considering the price of Bitfinex is a lot lower. So I'd be in the loss if I try to arbitrage it back to Bitfinex. Tracy, welcome. I'm not sure about Pivx Wallet. Maybe some of the people that are on this live stream can answer that question for you. Yeah, Bart, I think BTC can fall. I think she can. And I mean, I think, I'm going to be definitely analyzing it heavily. What is the price difference? Let's see. 23.48 on Bitfinex, 24.25. So I mean, great arbitrage. As long as the transfer goes through fine and there aren't any issues with GDAX. I mean, to have that, what is it, about $100 difference? 13.48 to 24.25, almost $100, or 24.32. Happy trading from Rio. Lily the dog, welcome. Good morning, Crypto CR. Chart says 1800 for BTC. Yeah, I mean, it could definitely fall somewhere in that range. I kind of forgot what I said in the beginning. Let me look at the chart again. What I think it could fall to, and that's basically based on support and resistance, and that's kind of how I base, a good entry and an exit. So they're saying, 1800. Let's see where that 1800 lies. And it all depends, what chart are they looking at, on what exchange, because the candlestick patterns are going to be different on an exchange. But yeah, anywhere between that 1880, to 1820 could be the low that it bottoms out and then kind of makes it right back up to that 23 possibly. As long as there aren't, panic sellers that are basically cashing out, or people like me, to be honest with you, I don't really suffer from FOMO, fear of missing out. I suffer from more of, we'll call it, FLOP, FOLP, fear of losing profit. So if you have people that are in the profit and it's tanking and they're afraid of losing that profit and they don't have strong hands and they're weak hands basically, they're also going to be cashing out to cause that price drop. It's definitely a possibility based on how the chart and the candlesticks are really acting. How is the price action acting right now at this moment? And it could be gearing up for another drop at possibly 12 o'clock. We'll see if that prediction comes true. Crypto CR, I really can't suggest anything. I'm not a financial consultant or a licensed advisor. You really have to be comfortable with what you're buying. So I really, I feel bad recommending for you to buy something and then it ends up tanking. But I don't mind, so I wouldn't know how you're able to distribute your mining profits to other alts. I'm sure if you have an exchange that accepts what you're earning from mining, you're able to transfer it there and then kind of look at the alts and really, I mean, I would just kind of look at what alts are popular and what alts have taken a beating. I mean, Pivx took a beating, down to, I'm going to say, I think it was maybe 27,000 under 30,000 satoshis, and then they bought it right back up to 50,000, or a little over 50,000 satoshis. So finding stuff that's just been beat up and just been grinding down for a while, it's only a matter of time before somebody sees the value and starts buying it up, and that's exactly what happened with Pivx. So when the market is down, I would look at your favorite altcoin and start bottom fishing. Just start looking at the chart pattern and say, you know what, if this crypto or this altcoin has done very well in the past, it's come down significantly and it's basically consolidating. This might be a good time for me to put in 10% of my capital or 15% of my capital, whatever you're comfortable with. Terry, hi, welcome. What do I think about AMP? I don't know. I got to really take a look at the chart to determine, where it's been and where it could possibly go. I really can't explain to the fundamentals or really the technology behind some of these cryptocurrencies. To be honest with you, I can care less about a lot of these altcoins and what technology they have behind it. I care about price action, price movement, charts, and that's about all that I care about. With some of the popular coins, yeah, I'll read about them because later on, as they bottom out, when the market really corrects itself and we're in a bear territory for a while, I want to be able to find, a good 7 to 10 altcoins that have just completely bottomed out to take a longer position in. You're 30 minutes late, Max. That's all right, man. You could always rewind this and watch it again. No, and I have not looked at ETC yet, but I will definitely do that considering I am holding a position in ETC. But I wanted to cover Bitcoin for a little bit and possibly talk about the bigger crash that might happen. Let's see, Bart, were you asking, do I think USDT is safe? I'll definitely answer that question. I mean, if it's better for me to trade on Polo, alts USDT or alts BTC, I think BTC is going to crash a bit. For me, it's better to store USDT, but I'm scared if those are safe. You got to remember, USDT is, it's an altcoin. That's basically what it is. It's an altcoin pegged to the US dollar, or supposedly pegged to the US dollar. But as we know, that ratio has not been 1-to-1. It was 1-to-1 for a very good amount of time, and then USDT kind of fell down to 91 cents. So if you were holding USDT expecting that value to still be at $1, you woke up to 91 cents. You're probably like, dude, what is going on here? It's down 9%. It's supposed to be 1-for-1. So it is risky, holding USDT because there are people that trade USDT, and I think that's what caused that price to kind of dip to 91 cents. But yeah, I don't trust USDT. To be honest with you, I don't trade in USDT at all. Even though I have a Polonius account, I've never held USDT because really anything could happen with USDT. It should be at 1-to-1 ratio with the US dollar, but anything can happen with an altcoin. Man, a lot of comments, and I'm loving this. It's definitely a good problem to have. But like I said, if I did miss your comment, I do apologize. Just leave that comment again, and I'll do my best to answer it. But thank you to the 23 people that are watching this live. And if you haven't done so already, please click on that subscribe button, click on that like button, click on the post notification, especially if you find this video helpful. I mean, leave me leave me a comment when this video ends so that other members that might be viewing this live stream are able to look at your comment and join this live stream and get something helpful, something positive out of it. Tracy, you're asking anyone use Coinami to hold cryptos? Having a hard time getting a wallet set up with small cap wallets. No, I've never even heard of it, to be honest with you. So maybe if somebody's heard it that's on this live stream could respond to that comment for you. Yeah, Lily, I agree. If it's a long-term investment, yeah, actually, look at the project, look at the development team. You definitely want to look at a lot of things before investing long-term. But yeah, that's why I don't think a lot of these altcoins are great long-term investments. Now they're great, if you buy them cheap and then they get pumped. But that's as long as you remember that you have that coin and you end up selling, or at least put a greedy sell offer, a very high sell offer when you buy it, so that if it actually does get to that price point, it's executed. But yeah, any long-term investment, you should definitely research that project. And yeah, and they could definitely go up. I mean, especially somebody coming in with big pockets. I mean, they have a motive. Their motive is to drive it up and then start dumping it. And a lot of times, I mean, it's just not one person. It's a coordinated attack between, traders. Between trading rooms and things like that. It happens in the market a lot. That they will coordinate to drive something up by buying little amounts, and then they'll dump it. Yeah, crypto. I mean, LTC. I would wait. I'm waiting for that dip. If it gets to that 25, 24, that's a dip I would buy because then, it has a possibility to get back up to that $30 range. I mean, I bought it last time at 24.58 and I sold it different increments for profit. Yeah, Coinbase. Yeah, somebody said Coinbase sucks yesterday or the day before yesterday. I completely agree. There's definitely downfalls with Coinbase. Yeah, I mean, and all you got to do, I think, Terry, is ask for a limit. I think there's a link somewhere on their page to ask for an increase in the weekly limit. And I think, as you're transferring money, they do up your limit. So they've upped my limit. My limit was 2 grand. I mean, I started at 200 bucks, when I first started the account, but then they upped it to 2,000, and now I think it's up to 10,000. Oh, Max, it's funny that you mentioned that. What my thoughts are on Poloniex pump and dump groups. I joined one. You joined one 2 days ago. So I personally didn't join one, but you're indicating you joined one 2 days ago and made a decent profit, but it's sketchy. Yes, it's definitely sketchy. You can definitely make a profit. Um, the leaders, of these pump and dump groups are really looking out for their interests, and they bring people on to kind of feed, fuel to the fire, to their pump, but they're not going to tell you before they get out. They're going to tell you that they got out after they got out. So, I mean, that they're eating the steak and you're getting the bone with a little bit of meat on it. But yeah, I got an email, and I got to research it. I forgot who it was, basically asking me to join their Facebook pump and dump group, and I was like, wow. So these pump and dump groups are, I mean, they exist. They're out there. There's tons of them out there. So don't let that fool you. But yeah, you're making, a little bit of a decent profit while they're making the huge profit, um, by basically using you to their advantage, for their pump and dump. You hope LTC flies to 100. I mean, it could. I don't know about 100, but maybe 50. I mean, there's really no reason that it shouldn't have tapped out at 50. It should have. Monero's next in line to hit the billion dollar market cap. Yeah, Monero had a nice run, and I think it was pumped. I think it was artificially, and it's a crazy market, and anybody with a lot of money could move these things, and that's what they did. They moved it to what, 56 bucks, I think it was, and then dropped it to 40. So I mean, they're relying on people buying at those highs, and that's why I always say, don't chase it. Wait for a healthy correction, wait for a nice pullback. And the pullbacks will happen. It's just a matter of you being prepared for them and having funds available to buy them, and being at your computer, of course. I mean, if you're not at your computer, you're going to miss some of these dumps that happen that are great buying opportunities. Now, I don't know if they're great buying opportunities for long term unless really we have a major correction and then the charts just indicate, okay, you know what, we're out of this bear market. Now we're in a bull market. This is the slowly but surely uptick. It's not the rabbit that's running, it's a turtle that's basically, crawling. And that's kind of what I want to see. For anybody that's a long-term investor, I would like to see these things just kind of crawl slowly to the upside and then consolidate. Crawl slowly to the upside and consolidate, not go up $1,000 in 2-3 days and then kind of, give back 600 bucks of it in a matter of, hours. But I'm gonna put this on mute for about 5 minutes. I gotta take care of my son real quick. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, let's take a look. I know I missed a lot of these comments, and I think Ethereum just took a nice drop. Yeah, Ethereum is dropping. So we'll see if it touches this low. What was the low yesterday that it touched? I think like 160. Yeah, the chart's all foobarred. But yesterday it did touch. Looks like on the 22nd, touched 160. So that's probably going to be a good support in that 160 range if it gets to that level. But we'll see. But yeah, I still have a sell order in for 207. But let me get to some of these comments. I know I did miss a couple. Terry, you're asking what exchange do I like? I like Coinbase. I really do. I think it's easy on the eyes, as long as they're not having issues. But that's going to happen with just about every exchange, to be honest with you. And if you're looking to starting a Coinbase account, there is a link at the bottom of this video that you can actually click on, and it'll earn you 10 bucks in bitcoins, and it'll earn me 10 bucks in bitcoins as well too. So if you're looking to set up a Coinbase account, which you'll have access to GDAX, their trading platform, definitely use my link. That's on the bottom of this video. As well as if you're looking to buy anything from Amazon, I do have an affiliate link on there as well too. That it'll help me out a little bit. But I like Coinbase, I like Bitfinex, and I do have Poloniex and I have Bittrex. But those two I would definitely be very leery about. I don't really keep anything on there. I do have Doji on Poloniex that I bought for my kid, and then another altcoin that kind of got trapped in the little 1 minute pump that happened that I thought was gonna really last a little longer, but it pumped up for about a minute or two and then came right back down. Also, Gemini is not bad, but you're kind of limited with Gemini to just Ethereum and Bitcoin. But I do like their deposit verification or their availability for deposit, where once you make a deposit, and they limit you to 500 bucks per day that you can transfer from your bank account. Those funds are available instantly right away to trade. Now they're not available for you to be able to transfer it. So if you do buy Bitcoin, with the 500 bucks that you transfer, you're not able to transfer those Bitcoins to an exchange or to a hardware wallet or anywhere that you want to transfer them to until those funds, the 500 bucks clears from your bank to Gemini. And that could take about 4 business days normally. So once it does clear, then you're able to take those coins and transfer them to a hardware wallet or a different exchange, whatever it is that you want to do with it. But you do have to wait until the funds clear. But at least they're giving you the opportunity to purchase something instantly right away within a matter of seconds. And in actuality, I mean, you could deposit up to $1,000 per day on Gemini as long as you make a deposit before 5 p.m. Eastern time zone. At 5:01 Eastern time zone, you can make another $500 deposit. So really, I mean, you can make a $1,000 deposit within a matter of 2 minutes, as long as you time it perfectly. But I do have all those exchanges. But really the main exchanges that I use now is it's Bittrex and Coinbase or GDAX. But yeah, if you're just looking to get started, Coinbase is the best way to get started. Like I said, it's easier to kind of read the chart. It's easier to look at the trade history, the order book, as well as the depth chart. I mean, it's a kind of all-in-one. It's easy on the eyes too. All right, let me scroll up for some of these comments. I'm getting tons of them, and it's a great thing, but I'm having a hard time keeping up with them. So I do apologize. But yeah, 31 people watching. I mean, I think that's a record. So thank you guys for joining, our ladies, gentlemen. So 32 is it's impressive. And if you haven't done so, click on that like button. We'll see if we can get up to 700 subscribers by the end of today. I think we're getting very close to it. And yeah, and Poloniex does have a lot of coins, a lot of the altcoins. Same thing with Bittrex as well too. And that's why I do like Poloniex and Bittrex if you're looking to trade altcoins. But with the issues that Poloniex has happened, I don't know, I'd be very careful. Bittrex hasn't really been having those problems, or at least I haven't heard of anybody having issues with Bittrex. Yeah, the only problem with excuse me, with Bittrex is their charting system is not that great. Now it's definitely better than Poloniex, that's for sure. I think Bittrex is a lot better than Poloniex charting system, where at least I could, use my mouse and the wheel and be able to zoom in and out from a candlestick instead of actually having to click on those little links that they have for the different time frames. So I mean, it's Bittrex, charting system is not the best, but it's definitely better than Poloniex. Yeah, and that's the best thing to do. I mean, Lily, spread the risk and be on multiple exchanges because really, if you're just on Poloniex and Poloniex goes down, you can't trade on anything else. GDAX or Coinbase goes down, I can't trade on Coinbase, so I'm going to hop over to Bitfinex and trade on Bitfinex. Abdullah says full-time crypto trading would kill someone. Dude, it's stressful. It's not easy being a full-time trader. Now, if that's all that you were doing and that's all that you had going on, yeah, it's doable. Because really that's all you got to worry about. But when you have other distractions of life, and a family, kids, and a wife, and a bunch of other stuff going on, yeah, it could be stressful. It could be overwhelming. You're not able to really monitor the market 24/7 because it is 24/7. I wish that the market would actually take a rest and take a nap for a couple hours and then start back up. But yeah, it never sleeps, and that's the scary part about it is that this could be dumped at any time. Um, when we're least expecting it to happen. But yeah, man, crypto trading is yes, yeah. I mean, it'll kill somebody in the sense that if they lose all their holdings, if the market crashes and they bought at the top expecting for it to get up higher, especially with new traders. Yeah, I mean, there are people that have committed suicide, unfortunately. Tracy, you're saying they all look tired in their YouTubes. If you want to clarify that, I'm not sure what you mean. Uh, is it that some YouTubers are looking tired? Yeah, if that's what you mean, I was actually on Trevon James' live stream a couple days ago, happened to catch it, and he looked he looked like he was out of it. And I basically asked him, I said, "Man," I was like, "You look out of it." I'm like, "Did you lose big on a trade?" Uh, and he was just like, "No, no, I haven't lost big on a trade." But yeah, he looked like he was completely out of it, and that's what I thought. I just thought he, made a huge bet and kind of lost on that bet. Terry, I basically try to do my best to arbitrage from Bitfinex to Coinbase and vice versa. I haven't really arbitraged to the other exchanges yet. But even trying to arbitrage is stressful. I mean, for 20 minutes, I was stressed out. I'm like, okay, I got an email from Coinbase saying that, Ether was sent, but Coinbase hadn't released it. And it took them 15 minutes to release it. And of course, the price fluctuated. I could have sold at, 197 when I bought at 177, but it had basically dropped to 186, 185. I mean, it was still in the profit, but it wasn't the profit that I was expecting to do that arbitrage. Yeah, a lot of big potentials, when these dips do happen. But yeah, they can be stressful if you're holding at the top. Now, for somebody that's looking to get a good entry, yeah, waiting for these crazy dips to happen is the best opportunity. Play the dips. That's the best thing to do. Really, I mean, you should be, selling on the way up and then buying little increments on the way down. Because really, you can't time the bottom. There's just no way to do that. I mean, you can get lucky here and there occasionally and be able to get that bottom, but majority of the time you're not going to get the bottom. So the best thing to do is start adding on the way down on a violent dip. I mean, one of the biggest one of the best and successful investors out there said, be fearful when others are greedy. So when the market's going up, you want to be fearful because people are being greedy and just buying things up. And you definitely want to be greedy when others are fearful, in the sense that when others are selling and they're panicking, that's when you want to be greedy and start buying things up. Yeah, and Tracy, full-time researching is good. I mean, if you have the time to do it, definitely do it. It doesn't hurt at all. To try to immerse yourself into as much as you can about altcoins and cryptocurrencies. And that's as long as you have the time to do it. Oh man, a lot of comments that I'm missing, so I apologize, guys. Hey, Trevor, not a problem, buddy. Not a problem. Let's see, Coinbase is being bombarded at the moment with new users trying to get verified and buy coins, which must be really pushing the servers to the limit. Yeah, I had a hard time yesterday. Hitting refresh and refresh and refresh, and I mean the charts were horrendous. Like you really couldn't even see the chart. We got like one candlestick basically. So they've had little issues here and there. But I mean, if Coinbase or GDAX, really Coinbase, I mean, if they can revamp their trading platform to have a better charting system, I think that they could definitely be the leader in the cryptocurrency exchange market. They definitely could, but they definitely have issues to work out. Now, I think Gemini is definitely the leader, but their charting doesn't exist at all. So in actuality, even though GDAX charting sucks and it's a little finicky, it's definitely better than Gemini. Gemini really doesn't have a candlestick charting system at all for traders. I think Gemini is mainly for used to do a little bit of arbitrage for long-term investors, but it's not built for day traders at all. Pound that like button. Yes, Trevor. Pound that like button. If you find this helpful, definitely click that like button, click the subscribe button. There's some great information that we talk about, and then stay connected with us on Steemit, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Snapchat. Now I know with some of the social media sites we're not as active as we should be, but that time will come when we'll start being very active on Snapchat, Periscope, and Instagram. And then definitely sign up for our mailing list. And like I stated earlier, we are giving away membership to our actual traders chat room. And to get that membership, definitely leave a comment at the end of this video when this video uploads. And then if your comment has the most likes for that week, I'll be picking one person comment that has the most likes and giving them a free membership to our actual traders chat room that's on Slack. So it's a great way for you to get that membership just by leaving a comment and having your friends and families go on there and clicking that like button. So I'll be doing that once a week, taking the 3 videos that are uploaded to YouTube and then picking one person to send them out an invite. The casino is always open. Yes, it is 24/7. It never sleeps. No holiday, no breaks, no nothing. Algorithm computers love it. People that actually have these programmed computers, they're probably loving it. I mean, it's making them money 24/7. It's like putting money in the bank. Of course, if the banks were paying higher interest rates at the moment, but yeah, it's like putting money in the bank, and that money's always earning you money by interest. It's not a lot, but it's better than not earning anything. But yeah, so these bots got to be loving, or the owners of the bots got to be loving a 24/7 market that never sleeps, no holiday, no nothing. Yeah, I think I'll definitely take a look at BTC right now. I looked at it earlier and kind of gave my opinion on it, but we'll take a look at it later. But please rewind this video and watch it from the beginning because that was something that I covered in the beginning. And hi to you too, by the way. Joseph, you're saying just stoned? Just stoned in what sense? Yeah, Trevor, it's nice that you mentioned that. And I've said that before. Set buying and selling limits. And I've gotten lucky, to be honest with you. Before going to bed, I'll set a low ball, offer. And I've gotten lucky where it actually touched that, really broke the level that I was looking at. But mine was executed, and by the time I woke up, I'm like, oh wow, nice, it's up $5-6 from where I bought it. Yeah, I could have bought it cheaper, because it did dip. But yeah, these dips will happen when we're least expecting them to happen, and having just that crazy, greedy, off the wall buy order doesn't hurt at all. I think I put in a buy order for 17.25 for BTC before I went to bed. I knew it wasn't going to touch it, but you know what? Who knows? You never know. It could have that violent, crazy $1,000 dip instantly, and then come right back up. By the time we all wake up, it's like, oh, it dipped, but then it came back up halfway. But yeah, setting those buy and sell limits is one of the best things you can do. Yes, and then yeah, you can sleep well. You definitely can. If you have an open order, you can't really. I mean, not open order, but just coins that you have not set a sell limit for. Yeah, you could lose some sleep over it. Traders stay up all night. I've done that in the past where I've gotten 45 minutes of sleep, and it's not good at all, bud. It's not good. It clouds your judgment. You can't think. You're gonna end up making the wrong decision. So I mean, you got to really, you got to get good sleep. So that your mind is fresh when you're looking at these candlesticks and trying to analyze a good opportunity to take a position. Yeah, and the best way, basically, when I'm putting in a low ball sell offer, I'll plot out 3 to 4 support lines, and I'll pick the fourth support line as a low ball offer. So I do plot out a couple support lines and say, okay, you know what? If it breaks this, it's going to break this. It's going to break this. If it does break those, there's a possibility that it could level out in this area here, and that's where I'll put my low ball offer at. I'm not going to put a low ball offer that has the ability to be executed, and then it could dip further. Pivx is clear to take off. Yeah, I mean, whoever did it, they pumped it to 50, almost 60,000 satoshis from that under 30,000 satoshis. Ripple has ruined. You know what, Lily? I think it was you that said you want a Ripple to go up to 50 cents so you can sleep better. But yeah, I think Ripple has ruined a lot of people's week, a lot of people's judgment. A lot of people probably are giving up on cryptocurrency because of what Ripple going from 43 down to 19 basically on Pivx. I mean, that's a huge correction. And, I would love to take a position. If it gets down to that 15 cents, I would love to take a long-term position of maybe 60,000 coins. And Tracy, you don't really need, a wallet to download Pivx. I mean, if you're holding long-term, yes, you definitely need that. But if you're buying it and trading it, I mean, the exchange has a wallet for you to use. No, Trevor, I've not talked about the treasurer. I'm assuming that's what you mean, right? The treasurer. Trevor James or Trevon James on YouTube. I've not heard of a Trevor James. Trevon James, yes. The intangible talk guy. Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I did see the title of the one video. I think it was like Crypto We Talk or something to that extent. Excuse me. But I didn't watch that video. And Terry, not a problem, man. I'm glad you found this helpful. And that's why I do these live streams. Hopefully, you guys will get a little bit of insight of what I do, my thought process behind, trading. And if you can find it helpful, that's great. I mean, that is awesome. Definitely spread the word. I mean, follow us on Twitter and retweet um, the live streams that I post. MLM, SCIA, Sia coin. Is that what you're asking about? I mean, it's definitely made a huge run. I bought Sia coin a long time ago when, I mean, it was 28, 29, 30 satoshis and selling them for a gain of 2 satoshis a piece, and it wasn't doing anything. And of course, the pump happened. I would have to look at the chart, but I would wait for a correction. Do I think Ripple will go up now? I mean, Ripple's at, especially on Bitfinex at 27, a little over 27 cents. I don't know. I would want it to come down further. I mean, it got down to that 22, 22.9. let's just say 23 cents. For day traders, this is perfect. Buy it at 23 cents, sell it at 32 cents. I mean, that's 10 cents per coin. That's huge. I mean, if you're buying 50,000, you're making 5,000 right away. Let's make sure my math is correct, because I think my math is off on that one. Yep, $5,000. I mean, so that's huge if you're playing these drops and then the pops. But I think it can come down further, to be honest with you. And I'm looking at Bitfinex chart, and it was just recently listed on Bitfinex, and it touched 25 once, it touched 25 twice, and then broke down that 25 wall and came down to about 23, let's just say. But yeah, under 20, I would really consider this and look at it. But yeah, I mean, I could be wrong, and it could be stuck at this 28 for a while and then take a nice run up. But I always try to put in a low ball offer. I think one time I put in a low ball offer of 17 cents. And of course, it never got there, but it doesn't hurt to do that. Duke, welcome, buddy. What are you buying back at 109? Yeah, Abdullah, even though I don't like Ripple and their technology behind it, but when the banks are involved, what do you think happens? I mean, it gets a pump. The banks are going to want to pump Ripple. I don't know if they're taking investments in it in the sense of buying coins, but if they are, they will definitely pump it. I mean, banks are greedy. I've worked for a bank for years. Banks are greedy, and they're going to want to pump this thing. And if they pump it to 1, I mean, could it easily get up to 10? Could it easily get up to 5 in 2, 3, 4 years? It's a possibility. Banks are looking to maximize as much profit as they can, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're just slowly but surely accumulating at these lows. Terry, you can definitely email me. That's probably the best way of getting in touch with me. Yeah, Ripple is great for trading. And welcome to Dubai Review. I don't know if you're from Dubai, but if you are, a great place. Yeah, it's always great for me to know, where people are from, because we do have a very diverse group here. But let me see if I can get to some of these comments, and then we'll talk about some of the ETC. Pivx master node layouts. I know they were going to possibly do master node, but I don't really know anything about the layout. But we do have some very knowledgeable people on this live stream. So if anybody can answer any of these questions, please do so. Do I know people or traders who could trade as a service? I mean, they would have to be licensed, or they'd be asking for trouble later on down the road. That's why Trevon looks tired sometimes. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all. But yeah, the one video, he looked out of it. And I was like, dude, you okay, man? Hopefully you didn't lose big on a trade. But yeah, I mean, losing big on a trade can definitely have an adverse effect on your just mentally. I mean, it could definitely drain you. Ripple, let's see what you're saying. Ripple, 11 billion. XRP, 274 million. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if at one point Ripple overtakes BTC in market cap. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I mean, really, it only needs a nice big push to overtake it, and I think it can, and it probably will, and then come right back down where Bitcoin will overtake it again. So you think Ripple will come back from 21, not 21 cents? I don't know. Before she could even get back up to that 43 or $42 level, I think she needs to test under 20, and she can test that under 20, and then from there on, I mean, we can get a nice run up to 35, possibly 40. Because then, I mean, I would think of it as completely oversold at that point. Especially if RSI is dipping below 25. I mean, you could easily, get to that 20-cent range and then pop right back up to 32, and that's exactly what it did. I mean, from basically 22 cents up to 32 cents. Joseph, I'm glad you found this helpful. And I mean, Trevon has his own way of getting the news out. Everybody's different. Every YouTuber is different. I don't really do news and commentaries about what's going on. It's mainly trading. But there's a lot of people that are doing, news and commentaries, and I mean, they're great at it. They really are. Ah, so the Dubai review. You are from Dubai. Kef Halik. Alhamdulillah. Goldman Sachs will make Ripple happen. I think so too. I think so too. And it really, I mean, it could get up to that $1 range. I think, if it would have gotten up to that $1 range, when it hit 43, I think it would have been way too fast, way too quick. So I'm kind of glad they kind of slowed it down and brought it back down a little bit. But yeah, it could easily, I mean, when banks are involved, it could easily get up there. Because like I said, banks are greedy and they're going to want to profit as much as possible out of it and trap these long-term investors or short sellers, possibly, if anybody's shorting. Yeah, I would never short against a bank. I mean, you could definitely win sometimes. I mean, the movie The Big Short, I mean, they shorted the financial market, the housing market, and they won big. But yeah, usually when you're betting against the banks are going to win. It's like going to a casino and expecting to win. The house is always going to win. And I think the banks, Goldman Sachs, will definitely take Ripple up to a new level. Patrick, welcome, buddy. Joseph, you're from Cali. Nice. Originally from New Zealand. Yeah, I'm originally. I mean, some of you guys know where I'm from. I'm originally from Africa, born and raised in Africa. Lived in a couple different places in Africa. Locked in those gains in BTC. Yeah, hopefully you locked them in at that 2,800. But yeah, for it to have come down to that 22 was a little scary. A little scary. And when I say 22, I mean 2,200, not 22 bucks. Tracy, it's I actually thought about that the other day, and it's funny that you mentioned that. And you're basically saying, you're trying to basically get all your holdings offline, um, so that your kids could never figure out how to get your stuff. I thought about the opposite. I was like, if something happens to me tomorrow, how would my family be able to get the money that I have in these exchanges or the coins that I have? They wouldn't be able to. So I think we need to have a contingency plan. And I think I need to really sit down with my wife and talk to her and let her know, hey, this is what you need to do if something happens. You need to be able to transfer sell the coins and transfer the funds out, because she wouldn't. It would probably just sit there, and she would never know how to get this money. Yeah, I would be curious, and I need to find that on Pivot's Masternode payout. What their payout is. I'm not even sure how many coins you need to be a Masternode holder. Um, but that's great though. I'm glad you know, um, they are accepting Masternodes, because that's going to lock up some of the coins, so they're not going to be tradable. So the supply or the float will be low, because the majority of them will be locked up. But then if it gets up so high, are people going to really exit out of the Masternode and sell and then buy back in when it dips? That could easily happen. Yeah, there's a lot of people that like Golem, and I mean, if you can find Golem at a very cheap price, at a consolidation, at a support, yeah, I think Golem could definitely have a future. A lot of these coins could have a future. But like somebody said, I mean, you really have to research their development team, especially if you're looking to hold it long term. If you hold long term, then you definitely want to do your research on the coin that you're holding. If you're trading, it doesn't matter at all, to be honest with you, what they do. I can care less what they do. I'm buying and I'm selling for a profit. But yeah, if I was investing long term, which I probably will later on as my account grows, and alts start dropping and they're bottoming out. But then yeah, I'll pick 7 of the best altcoins, and do my research and invest in them long term. The Dubai group, you're indicating you have a WhatsApp group who are planning a pump of a small cap with good fundamentals and technical analysis. Can you suggest any small caps for that? I'd have to do my research, and I can definitely do a little bit of research tonight, and take a look at some of the altcoins. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't really look at fundamental analysis. It's all technical analysis for me at this moment. But if I do become a long-term holder on some of these altcoins, then yes, I'll be looking at the fundamental side of it. What does the Bitcoin Meister do? What type of services is he offering? Are you talking about the small cap pump and dump group? Tracy, if that question is for me, I would have no clue at all about Dubai releasing a gold-backed coin. Dylan, welcome, buddy. And thank you so much, because I'm behind on these comments. So thank you so much for answering that question for Terry. And Terry, I would love to do these live streams more. It's just really time permitting. But I mean, if I could do a live stream on Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday, I mean, I will definitely. If I have that time, I will hop on. But my commitment to you guys, or ladies, is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So you guys have a consistent schedule when I'm going to be doing these live streams. But there might come a time on a Tuesday or Thursday or Saturday or Sunday where I'm at my computer, crazy things are happening, and I might just activate the live stream. I don't have any Ripple to store, but I don't even think they have a hardware wallet for it yet, or it's Ripple wallet. I think a lot of people are just maybe keeping it on exchange. Let's see. You want me to play some important lines that I see, and explain why I place them there? Yeah. So you're talking about support and resistance, I'm assuming. And if you want me to plot out some support and resistance lines, let me know what cryptocurrency, and I will gladly take a look at that. When this video started, I did one on BTC. And I did tell somebody I was going to do one on ETC, and I will get on that once I get to all these comments. Stinky Bong, you're asking me if I said anything about Trezor fundraiser, like Teron James fundraiser. I haven't heard anything about it, so I mean, if you want to enlighten me about it, that'd be great. So I'm assuming when you say Trez, you're referring to Teron James, but I've not heard about a fundraiser that he's doing. And history repeats itself. Welcome. Love seeing new names on this chat. But yeah, I talked about a couple of things. So your comment indicates that there's a great post on Reddit about the situation you're talking about. Yeah, please let me know what the situation is because I talked about a couple of different things. So I'm not really sure exactly on which point that I made. Are they talking about it on Reddit? Yeah, Abdullah, that's definitely been the situation where any Ethereum token built on the Ethereum blockchain has a lot of potential, and they've showed us that they have a lot of potential. Yeah, pump and dump groups. I mean, they were from back in the day in the stock market, and then of course they started curbing and regulating it heavily, um, where it's illegal, but it happens. It definitely happens. Ledger Nano has Ripple. That is good to know. So I forget who was asking that question. It might have been Lily. All right, kind of going back to the chart though. I did say I would take a look at ETC and plot out some charts and see where Ethereum Classic might end up. But yeah, this is like the calm before the storm, and I think last time when I did the live stream on Wednesday, it was the same thing, and then things just start turning sideways. But I mean, the pump was awesome, and I mentioned it in the past. When I bought it at 7. I mean, even when it dropped to 525, I said the pump is coming, and I didn't sell at 525. I didn't get rid of any holdings at all. I ended up selling a little bit for a profit as it was going up. But I mean, if I would have held, it would have been great. But I mean, that pump was great. It happened just like I had expected. And and if this was just a fake pump that was just being pumped by a chat room, in actuality, she would have come back down to that $10 range. She would have gone up so fast and came down even faster. And really, for it to touch 14 from the high of 22.75, that's not bad at all. That is not bad. Now, is it gearing up for another pump? Who knows? I mean, things are inflated at this moment. Everything is inflated. And that's why I think, this is just a minor correction before the big sell-off happens. I mean, we could get a nice little pump back up to that 22, and then what do you know? After that, it's just straight downhill from there. But I think for my position for the 250 that I'm holding, yeah, I'll be looking at that 22.75 to just get rid of it, get out, and hopefully wait for a bigger correction to happen. But let's take a look at some support and resistance. And if there are comments that are coming through, I'm probably going to end up missing them, but I will try to get to them before this video ends. So really, what could this thing really come down to? Let's go ahead and draw out some resistance or some support. Actually, I'm sorry. All right, that 14 bucks is huge, huge, and I will explain why. All right, so we got that line there. We're gonna make that a different color so it stands out. We'll make it neon green. All right, so reason why that $14 is very important is because of what really happened in the past. So if we look at right over here, before really it had that pump up to 22.75, it had a nice gradual uplift to about 16, let's just say 17 bucks, and came down to that 14 bucks, touched that 14.01, went right up to that 22 new high. And when it really started to come back down, it just gradually grinded down with nice little upticks to probably trap, other longs and newcomers. But when she came back down, she touched that 14 again. So 14.01 here, $14 there. So that 14 will be a very good support considering twice it touched it and came right back up. And that's because really selling kind of died off at that point. But if selling was to intensify, she would have come crashing even further. And then we'll look at a different resistance or a different support line to see if she does break the 14 bucks, what is the next area of support that I kind of see and what the chart possibly is telling me. But you can't just base your trade based on that. You also have to look at the order book. So just because I put 14 bucks on here doesn't mean, oh, it's going to touch that 14 and get back up. I really got to look at the order book and see, okay, you know what, how many people are stacked up at that $14 price range to either buy or to sell. And then that will tell me, okay, you know what, whether this is going to be a true support or if it's just a little self-support because the sellers are stacking up to sell more at that price range, or buyers are stacking up to buy more. And then that will kind of give you a direction of which way it might move. But 14 bucks is very important for it to maintain that. After that, really, we're looking at somewhere in the range of 12, about the 1150, 1165 range. We'll just set up to 1150. So if selling does intensify, that 1150 support could be in sight. And that all depends too. I mean, what are some of the other cryptocurrencies doing? I mean, if all alts are dropping with Bitcoin, then yeah, it's going to drop heavily. And it only really takes, one candlestick to really start breaking that support line where people are basically they have their stop loss just probably just a little above that support line. And once it breaks that support line, all these stop losses are taken out to cause a gradual decline. But after that, we're really looking at, let me make sure this is not it's a candlestick and not a volume bar. So after that, about 925 is in sight. If 925 breaks, 8 is going to be very strong. All right, so we got our lines there. We'll make this red. All right, so we got our support. Let's look at resistance, because this thing will have resistance. Especially if somebody's buying right at this level here and buying it now. Let me get rid of some of these other lines. So if anybody's buying at this current level, where would they be selling? And that would basically indicate to me that they're going to be selling somewhere in the range of 1850-ish. That's going to be the first area of resistance. So right about the $18.50. After that, let's say it gradually makes that move, breaks out, buyer stepping in, completely breaking out. So what it might do is just kind of touch that level and maybe consolidate a little bit. If there is no big drop off, once it consolidates for a good amount of time, then you'll see a nice crazy uptick. And if it does get that crazy uptick, then we're possibly looking at 21. I'm sorry, not 21. 2025 level, somewhere in that range. But in order for this to start making new highs, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin have to go up with it because it is following the trend. So about 2025 is going to be the second area of resistance, and then really after that, it's really the high that is set. About 2275. We'll just say 2250 because it looks like that's where the actual full body candle is. 2225 is a full body candle. $22.25. All right, right about there, close to it. All right, let me enlarge this, and then you guys can probably see this a little better. And we'll get rid of the. Let's see if I can. There we go. Got rid of the RSI down at the bottom. But volume. I mean, if you look at the volume on the bottom right, I mean, it completely spiked. I mean, this is crazy versus what the volume was when it was just stuck under $8, and it had a hard time breaking out above that 8. But once it broke out above that 8, I mean, there was really nothing that was stopping it. It wasn't even really testing those levels again. Yeah, it tried to down here, and it attempted to probably 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 candlesticks worth at different intervals to try to break um, below that price point, but it really couldn't. And that's a strong support at that $8 level. Will it get there anytime soon? I don't know. I mean, that's kind of hard to determine. It all depends on the buyers and sellers and what the overall market is doing. But I mean, if it does get down to that point, that's really where I would probably be looking to go all in with whatever cash I have on Bitfinex. And I did have a resistance here. I don't know what happened to it. or support line at the 14 got deleted somehow, some way. But yeah, most important key is to see if it breaks that $14 level. And if we get a drop like yesterday, easily it could do it. I mean, it's only at 16.27. It could easily drop that $2. I mean, we had it drop. What did it drop? Let's see, from about $18 to $14. I mean, that's a $4 drop there. So for it to drop $2, 227 to hit that 14, easily doable, easily. All right, let me see if I can get to some of these comments. Yeah, Stinky Bong, I'll definitely, it's funny that I'm saying that. It's a good thing my kids aren't around. I'll definitely have to look into that. That's interesting. Yeah, anything that's anything that's backed up by banks has the potential to be something good in the sense of price action. But they can pump it and they can dump it and they will repeat that cycle and trap new investors in. Um, but yeah, I'll definitely have to research that and look into it. The Dubai review, you're asking how we can arrange that for a small cap pump that we can talk about. uh, the best thing to do is, at the bottom of this video, there is a link to our website. Sign up for our mailing list. Um, and when you sign up for our mailing list, we'll give you access to our general chat. It's basically kind of the water cooler chat on our Slack chat room that we have. It's not the actual traders chat room, but you do have the ability to upgrade to the actual traders chat room or win an upgrade to the actual chat room. And to win that upgrade, all you got to do is basically leave a comment when this video uploads. And if your comment has the most likes for that week, based on those 3 videos that are uploaded on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we will go ahead and pick one person per week to actually give them full access to our traders chat room, an actual traders chat room that we have. Because we do have a couple of rooms, and the one is just kind of the water cooler room to kind of hang out and chit chat about anything and everything. But the actual traders chat room is going to be about technical analysis, charting, things like that, taking positions, when to get out. It's not going to be a general chat where you can just chat about anything. It's going to be about trading mainly, and that's it. And then if you want to just chit chat about anything and everything, that's where we have the CTR water cooler. Just hang out and chit chat about anything that you want. So when the market is moving and it's moving like crazy, I will try to do my best, especially if I'm at a computer, to get on that chat and be able to chat with you guys. But when the market is slow and it's not really moving, the water cooler hangout spot's not too bad because you can just chit chat about anything with a bunch of other traders. So that channel is growing. We're still looking to have more members join. And as it grows, I think it's going to get better and better as time goes on. But yeah, that's something in the works. If we get a bunch of traders that are very like-minded and that are able, and really that was the plan when I kind of started this, is to get a bunch of people that are like-minded and be able to really share ideas about different cryptocurrencies, because we're all looking at different platforms, different cryptocurrencies, and to kind of alert the group, that something might be moving on Bittrex, or something looks like, it's bottomed out for a while and it's been, volume has been very low, and then all of a sudden, you start getting volume to increase. For you to send out that type of notification, and then if we all as a group want to trade and collectively get into that trade with our own money, then there are ways to get that to move up. And there's so many different ways that I know that we can get a cryptocurrency to move up. It's a very simple process, and it could definitely be done. But you need the backing of a very strong community, strong group that's going to follow a couple of simple rules to get that to move up. And there's a lot of trading chat rooms that are currently doing that now. But yeah, that's something in the works. Yeah, Pivx, I mean, 73% from, I haven't looked at it. When I looked at it this morning, it was like, 56, 57,000 Satoshis from under 28,000 Satoshis that it was. Yeah, somebody's making a lot of money off of that. But yeah, if you didn't get in at, under 30,000 Satoshis to get in at this level when it's up so high, so fast, in my opinion, it's a little dangerous. because it really could come back down to that 40, 35, 30,000 satoshis, especially, the person that really brought it up and bought tons of those coins. They were probably stacking up at that under 30,000, and then they decided, you know what, let me just buy small little increments at a very high price and get the price to jump and get new traders to come in and see the price action. The price action is moving. They're going to follow that. They'll get the price to actually go up further because they're feeding fuel to the fire. And what do you know? They got it to do exactly what they wanted it to do, and then they'll just dump it. Now, unless they bought it, to become a master node. Now, if they bought it under 30,000 and it's a large investor and they're doing it just to kind of lock in those coins and become a master node, then that's a completely different story. They won't be dumping it. They'll actually be locking up those coins. Yeah, Tracy, you could definitely do that. So really, I mean, you could move, Litecoin, uh, Ethereum, Bitcoin from really any exchange that you want, including Bittrex, to I would move them to GDAX. I wouldn't move them to Coinbase because you do have access to the GDAX platform to be able to trade. If you move them to Coinbase and you sell on Coinbase, then you're going to be selling at a loss because it'll be cheaper. I mean, the price will be less on Coinbase than it is on GDAX, and that's just to sell. Now, when you're buying, you're going to pay a higher price on Coinbase than you would on GDAX. So the best thing to do is, if you have Coinbase, just go to gdax.com, log in with your Coinbase account, get your BTC address or your Ethereum address, and then go to Bittrex and send those coins to that address, and then be able to sell them on the exchange. And if you do a limit order on GDAX exchange, then you will not pay commission to sell those coins. That's the best thing to do. And then once you sell them, you could basically move the money, move the USD to Coinbase, and then or actually, I think you can transfer them straight from GDAX to your bank account. Jonathan, welcome, buddy. You missed a lot in the sense of the price action. Is that what you mean? The crazy volatility, the crazy drop. Tracy, thank you so much for that comment. I appreciate that. I'm providing great info and a great chat. And really, it's you guys that are motivating me to do this more. You guys are active on this chat, and that's great. If nobody was active and I was the only one talking, and there was no level of engagement, I don't know how long I would probably be able to do this for. But as long as you guys keep engaging and chatting away, and leaving me comments, asking me questions, that's the best thing to do. No, Jonathan, I'll definitely look into that. Trend line for overall volume and market cap. I'm sure there's a site out there that talks about the overall volume and market cap. I mean, of course, we all know that market cap has skyrocketed, and it's just been getting bigger and bigger every single day. But that could be misleading. That's the bubble when market cap just continuously increases by billions of dollars, and it's just new money that's just piling in and piling in and piling in, and that's before that bubble really pops. And mainstream media is continuously talking about BTC. There's a buddy of mine that works for a bank, and I haven't really talked to him for a while. I don't know if he's actually listening to this live stream, uh, but yeah, my wife posted a picture, and he actually sent me the picture, which I didn't know she had actually posted the picture. It was me basically at my computer. She took a picture of my son, and of course I have my 3 monitors and the laptop set up, and he was like, "Are you day trading?" And I was like, yeah, I was like, not traditional financial market, but I'm trading, the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum classics and things like that. And he's like, yeah, he's like, Ethereum is making a move. And he's not a trader at all. So, I mean, when mass media is just pumping out news about Bitcoin and about Ethereum and about blockchain, it's a bubble. Mainstream media normally does not cover anything in the sense of cryptocurrency when nobody's talking about it when it's down, but when every mass media is mentioning cryptocurrency, it's scary, really scary. And I have people that don't know anything about Bitcoin mentioning Bitcoin. Like when I talk to them about Bitcoin, they have no clue. And then months later, they're coming up to me and they're like, "Whoa, I've read the article. How I would have made so much money if I would have invested in Bitcoin, back in 2012." So I mean, the news is getting out there, and people are starting to find out about this cryptocurrency market. And if they decide to pile in, that causes the market to drive up like it has recently. Then the rug is going to be pulled out from underneath them, and that's what these big time investors want. Is they want They want these little investors to come in so that they could trap them and they can get out at a higher profit. Terry, you're asking, does anybody know how to get in touch with Coinbase? Yeah, that's a good one. If you do, let me know. I do have some recommendations for you though. But let's see. You made a deposit from a company using the address into Coinbase. It's been 3 days now. Is this normal? And you try to live chat, it sucks. Yeah, it's tough to get a hold of Coinbase. The best thing to do is leave them a message on Reddit, um, on Twitter. You can get in touch with Coinbase support that way. But yeah, they're very slow to get back to you. I had issues for almost 2 weeks in regards to several deposits that I made, and yeah, it wasn't fun at all. It wasn't fun. But considering you transferred, I don't think you really indicated what you transferred. If it's USD, yes, it's gonna take time, and in 3 days, that's nothing to be honest with you. I made a $2,000 deposit that took almost 8 business days basically, not even including the weekend. So it took almost a half a month for that $2,000 deposit to go through. So if it's cash that you deposited, yes, it will take a little while. And that all depends too, Terry, on how much cash or USD you deposited. The higher the USD, the longer the wait time for some apparent reason. So when I deposited 2,000, and that was the first deposit I made, it sat there. And then I deposited other little increments, 250, 200 bucks here and there. So all those small deposits went through before my big deposit went through, and they just held that for so long. Now, my speculation behind that is they want to earn interest on that 2 grand as much as they can, as much as they can off of it, and they held it for a half a month. So that's a half a month of interest that they made off that 2 grand. That's kind of my speculation behind why they held it for that long. Let me see. Coinbase wasn't accepting credit card last week. So you had to do the 7-day wait to get money from your bank to Coinbase. Yeah, yeah. And like I said, if you're depositing a good amount of money, yeah, it's going to take a little while. They will hold that. Yeah, Dubai. Like I said, just definitely click on that link where we'll go to www.cryptotradersroom.com and sign up for our mailing list. And we'll give you access to our general chat room, and then from that general chat room, you can actually upgrade and become a member of the actual traders chat room. Um, and basically, I mean, you could get that upgrade by, like I said, leaving a comment after this video has been uploaded, having your friends and families go in and like that comment, and whoever has the most comment at the end of the week from those 3 videos will be getting a free membership. And as that community grows and the traders become familiar with trading and spotting different patterns and things like that, that's really where we're all going to work collectively together to be able to spot some of these trends. And if we spot a trend, and let's just say 15 of us decided to trade our own money in that, then us 15 can collectively look at this and say, okay, you know what, this is a support, this is a resistance, this is a way that we could actually get this cryptocurrency to move up. There's just so many different ways, and that's something that we can definitely talk about as the channel grows or the membership grows, and we're all in sync of how we want to do this thing. All right, I think I caught up to all the chats. All right, perfect, perfect. So let's take a look at the overall market and see exactly what it's currently doing. But Bitcoin, I mean, it could get close to that first line of support, that 22 or 23. It could get to that easily with one candlestick. So these dips, I mean, if we really look at it, yes, it's going up, but the dips are getting bigger and bigger. So as it goes up, the dips are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and before you know it, it comes crashing to that 1725, 1750, 1800. But I mean, we're really looking at this. Let me see if I can zoom out to maybe a 4-hour chart. Yeah, and don't let this candlestick here fool you guys. It's indicating that BTC went down to 6 cents. Yeah, that was the day that they were doing maintenance on their website, and it was down for a little bit. And when they came back on, all those 3 altcoins were trading for pennies. And the one I actually took a screenshot. I got to find the screenshot, and I'll share it with you guys if I find it. I did share it on our Slack traders chat room. about the order that went through to cause, and actually I think they caused Ethereum to go from like $30 to $75 when they came online, and that was because a bot had bought, it was like 0.023 Ethereum's at a high price to cause that to kind of go up, and then of course it leveled right back down. But it was just basically one single trade, because I did take a screenshot of it with the trade history, to kind of get it to go up, and it was a very small fraction of coin that was bought. But yeah, so don't let the 6 cent fool you here, because yeah, nobody really got rich off that drop. But yeah, let's go ahead and get out of that. Be able to take a look at the full chart. All right, so if we're looking at this, and let's see if I can do maybe a 2-hour. And we'll start it from where that big dip happened for their maintenance. All right. So when I talk about it moving up and correcting and having a very healthy, correction, this first circle, it's a healthy correction because it's just not a gradual drop instantly, like it did here. So let me put a circle there. That's a little minor correction. What is this, 2 hours worth that it came down just a little bit. Here, this is very healthy. They just kind of grind it down and then kind of went up. So these little corrections that we're having, even right here, at the end of the circle where it came down just a little bit, that's pretty healthy. What really scares me is, a drop like this is very small. A drop like this is bigger than the first drop. A drop like this is bigger than the first drop, as well as the third drop. Now, the second drop, like I said, it's pretty healthy. This drop right here is pretty healthy. As long as it grinds down a little bit, that's healthy, because people are buying as people are locking in profits. I mean, this is basically selling. There's just tons of selling that happened, and the selling basically slowed down, or they ran out of things to sell, and of course, it went right back up. But if selling intensifies a little more, I mean, it could cause a bigger drop, and that's what this did here. So let's just say hypothetically, Bitcoin gets right back up. The next drop is even going to be bigger. So as it gets up higher and higher, the drops are going to be bigger and bigger. So I mean, if this thing really gets that $3,000 range, drops are going to be massive. And we can basically tell from the candlesticks that the drops are getting bigger and bigger when it has a correction, an instant correction, not a 10-hour, a day long, a half a day long correction. I mean, this is a correction within a matter of an hour and a half or 2 hours, and that's scary. So, like I said, if it keeps grinding up higher, when it corrects, it's going to have a much of a bigger correction than the previous correction that it had. So we'll definitely just kind of have to keep an eye on it and play by ears. But yeah, it's a little scary for me. All right, so BTC down 13%, Litecoin 21%, Ethereum 15%, Monero down 19% under $40. I mean, this thing, I'm surprised. I'm surprised they didn't get it up to $100, considering they got Zcash up to 250, 280, I think it was. That was crazy. That's a crazy, insane move. But yeah, everything, all the popular coins are just currently in the red, and it's going to be a red day. So it's a good day to kind of look at the charts and try to get a little bit of a position on some of these coins that are just bottoming out, some of these popular coins that are bottoming out. But yeah, just a couple little coins. Stellar's up, Monero. I'm not Monero. I'm sorry. Ripple's up, ICN is up, Doji's up. Factom is up. But the bigger ones, where the big money really is, are completely down today. Let's see if I missed any of these comments. But thank you so much, guys, for joining. I do appreciate this. Thank you so much for hitting that like button. If you subscribe, that's great. I've gotten a couple emails indicating that you guys have subscribed. So I mean, I'm thrilled to see this thing, where it currently is today from where I started. I mean, starting this January 1st, I didn't expect it to be at this current level that it's at. The amount of subscribers and the amount of people that are actually on this live stream. On March, what was it, March 12th, when I started this live stream, I mean, I was ecstatic. I had one person, and then two people, three people. And I said, you know what, as long as I have one person watching this live stream, I will continue to do these live streams. And every day, there's somebody on there. So, even if this drops to one person, I will still continue to do these live streams. Big volume around 2,400. Let's see if I can look at. It all depends what exchange you're looking at too. So if you write a message like that indicating there's big volume around 2,400, let me know what exchange it is. And if it's exchange that I'm, excuse me, if it's exchange that I'm using, I will definitely take a look at that. But I got about 8 minutes left on this live stream. I hope nothing crazy happens once I get off this live stream. And if I am at my computer and something crazy is happening, I will try to do a very quick live stream. Yeah, depositing on a little under $2,000 is not bad, but considering you're close to that max, I don't know what your max is. They might hold it. I think anything over 1,000, it seems like they're holding long term. Let's see. Banks are reporting amounts coming in and out, but the thing is though, with Coinbase, they're regulated. It's not a place where, I mean, it could be, but more than likely, considering they're regulated and they make you jump through hoops just to be verified, that money laundering is not really happening. But with some of these sites, that could be a possibility. Some of these exchanges where money laundering is happening. But yeah, I mean, there's no reason for them to be reporting you, considering you're just making deposits to a regulated institution. Yeah, and a while back too, Terry, I had actually, when that happened to me, you could probably find it on Reddit. But yeah, I started a little rant on Reddit, as well as on Twitter too. And I mean, I sent a tweet out to Brian Armstrong, Coinbase support. But yeah, of course, I never heard back from them. But yeah, I just thought it was ridiculous. It's like, I made a deposit. You guys told me it would be credited in 4 business days. Well, actually, the email said 3 business days. And then I'm like, where's my $2,000? Like, why are you guys holding it? Why are you not releasing it? But yeah, of course, yeah, I never got a response. Yeah, and Tracy, that's the best way to do it, is just move smaller amounts, just to be on a safer side. And Joseph, that's awesome, for you to be a regular. And that's what I want. I want, people to hop in on this live stream that are regular and definitely, chat away, leave a comment. When I first started, there was a lot of people that were just kind of shy. They wouldn't comment at all. And then they finally came out and just started commenting. They're like, no, I've been here for a while. I've just never really commented. So yeah, so I mean, if you're shy, I mean, say what's up. So Tracy, you didn't get the notification until about 9 minutes into this video. That's interesting. Yeah, because I scheduled it about, I think it might have been about 2 hours before the live stream started. I think it was like 7:30 when I scheduled it. But yeah, the best thing to do is click on that little bell next to the subscribe button, and that's YouTube's post notification, and they will notify you every time of a live stream is scheduled or we upload a video. But let me know if you guys have any more questions. I got about 5 minutes left. And within that 5 minutes, we'll just take a look at Bitfinex real quick and see what the overall price is. So 2,300 for BTC in comparison to what it's going for on GDAX. So GDAX about 2,400. So not a bad opportunity for arbitrage. If you're making $100 per coin, $300 per coin, and I have seen this price fluctuate between both exchanges. And at one point, it was almost $300. But yeah, but on Bitfinex, I don't know if you guys have realized, you can actually trade Bitcoin Core and Bitcoin Unlimited. Those are tradable. Now the volume is nothing. I mean, the volume is right now on Bitcoin Core, the volume is 1. On Bitcoin Unlimited, the volume is 16. So the volume is always going to be low, but I have seen Bitcoin Unlimited swing to almost $300. I think it was like 150 or 175 bucks, and it went up to 300. So the volume is low, which would make it a little harder for it to get in and out, especially if you have a very sizable position. But they are tradable on Bitfinex. I don't think they're tradable anywhere else. Oh, banks reporting to IRS. Yes, yes, Tracy. Oh, yes. There's really no way of hiding not paying taxes. I mean, you got to pay your taxes, to be honest with you. And if you don't pay your taxes, yeah, you might get away with it for a little bit, but eventually later on down the road, it'll come back to haunt you. But yeah, they are required to report suspicious activities, especially if their transfers constantly going in and out, in and out. And they basically just want to track the money to see, okay, you know what, it's going to Coinbase, but then, when it goes to Coinbase, where is it going to after that? But yeah, they will report any type of activities. I shouldn't call it suspicious activities, but any type of activities. Um, just like, I mean, if you were to go in and deposit $10,000 and 1 cent, they would report that. They would fill out what's called a cash transaction reporting. It's actually called CTR, just like CryptoTrader's room. But yes, called CTR. And that's basically currency or cash transaction reporting, which has to be reported to the IRS, as well as if you withdraw $3,000. If you withdraw $3,000 or more, that is going to be reported to the IRS. So they have a track record of your activities. Do I think it's smart to invest in PIVX right now? You should have probably asked me that question on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I would have been like, yeah, look at this thing. It's grinded down. It's at its all-time low. Well, not all-time low, but it's at its low from the high that it made, and it continuously grinded down. So Wednesday would have been a perfect opportunity before it actually pumped up. I mean, you could definitely take the risk, um, but how high could it actually go? Who knows? I mean, it definitely has support. I'm sorry, it has resistance at different intervals, so you know exactly where it's been and the potential where it could actually go to. But I can't tell you if it's a smart investment at this particular moment. Yeah, any of them can drop, Tracy. Any of them can drop, and I think what Tracy just said. MLM France. It's yeah, it can happen at any point. So, wait for the dip. That's the best thing to do. Wait for people to start panic selling. When people are panicking, that's when you should be buying. When people are being greedy and just buying up these, let's just say Ethereum Classic. When people were just buying it up and getting the price up to 22.75, yeah, that's the time you should be selling. Yes, sell on the rise and start buying on the dip. That's interesting. There's no tax in UAE. I mean, UAE is a very rich country, but yeah, I'm not sure how their tax structure works. But that's awesome. You got a couple people in Europe who send you coins for you to trade. That's not bad at all, especially yeah, considering if the price is higher on the exchange that you're using and they're able to buy it cheaper. Yeah, why not? I mean, there's a lot of money to be made in that sense. And really, I mean, if you can just do that full time and not really have to sit there and look at candlesticks, just buy on an exchange that's cheap, transfer it as long as it goes through right away, and then be able to sell it. Then really, you don't have to do any type of technical analysis because you're just buying somewhere that is cheap and you're moving it over and selling it somewhere else that it's more. Yeah, I didn't know what that meant either, Dubai. Yeah, Tracy, if you want to clarify that. Have I noticed light dog or light doji? No, I have not noticed light doji. It's the first time I'm hearing it. Uh, Tracy, you're indicating that you can buy until the cows come home. Is trying to take a little profit is when the tax man appears. Yeah. So I mean, if you're taking those profits, from altcoins or just cryptocurrency in general to USD or whatever the cryptocurrency is in your country, yeah. I mean, more than likely, that's when you're going to pay tax on either the profit or if you take a loss, then you can write that off against your profits. But yeah, I think, and in the U.S. the IRS hasn't really clarified. I mean, they're for tax purposes, they're labeling it as a property. Uh, but I don't know how they're taxing it when you're going from one altcoin to another altcoin because really it doesn't tell you unless you're really jotting things down at at what price in the USD did you sell when you're going from one altcoin to another altcoin, and then at what USD price did you buy the other altcoin, and keep a detailed record, because I mean, you're really responsible for providing that to the IRS. IRS is not responsible at all, and if you can't provide them what they need, yeah, it's not going to be a good outcome. I've never heard of Light Doji. I'll have to do a little research about that. If anybody's heard of Light Doji, and if you guys want to respond to Trevor's comment, please do so. Yeah, I mean, if you're, I mean, really, with any of these exchanges, it doesn't matter if it's, from Korea or South Africa, wherever it might be, it's still 24/7. So you're still not going to get any sleep. It doesn't really matter what exchange you're using. Those exchanges are live and active 24/7. And the price difference too. I mean, it could be night where you are, you could be sleeping, and in Korea, it could be afternoon, and people are out and about and trading. And that's a scary thing, is you really don't know, where the majority of the traders from. Are they from an area that, the time zone's the same as yours, and they're sleeping when you're sleeping, or is the time zone completely different and they're up and trading and causing, price action movement while you're sleeping? Yeah, that's why the cryptocurrency market, I mean, it's dangerous because it's 24/7. I mean, thinking about holidays, with Christmas and Thanksgiving in the US and spending time with your family, um, you're not looking at the market. You're not, possibly looking at trades to get out of and get into. And that's when these crazy dips happen. Let's see. Is there another US wallet or exchange, I'm assuming, like Coinbase, that I would suggest that you can use the link for ACH bank deposits? I'm assuming you mean like USD, right? US dollar, and that you're based out of the US. Bitfinex was one of them until they actually completely changed it. So we'll see what happens with that. But Kraken is the other one that you could actually trade in USD, as well as Gemini. Gemini, you could trade in USD and have a CH bank account. And the nice thing about Gemini, and I mentioned it before, is that when you have instant verification, you can link that account instantly and not have to really wait 4 to 3 days to link your bank account for ACH deposits. It's instant linking, and then once you link it, you're able to at least minimum transfer $500 per day. And if you time it perfectly, you can actually do $1,000 per day within a matter of 2 minutes. But that's the best way, to be honest with you. I don't really know of too many other exchanges that I would trust that utilize USD. The Dubai group is saying there's someone in our group who wants to buy $100,000 worth of Ethereum. Wow. And wants to pay extra. How extra is he willing to pay? So he's willing to pay a premium for Ethereum. Yeah, I'm surprised you have a limit to how much you can buy in a week. I know in the US, we have withdrawal limits for Coinbase, but we don't have buying limits at all. I mean, you can buy, as long as you have the money in the account, you can buy, up to that, or you can actually utilize leverage, 4-to-1 leverage on the margin. But yeah, there's only a cap or a limit on withdrawals. Yeah, Trevor, I'll definitely take a look at that. I only have, I mean, this live stream was supposed to end about 5 minutes ago. I'm just trying to get to the comments a little bit, but I will definitely take a look at Light Dog, especially if it's on cryptocurrency market cap. But I don't even know where you can buy it, to be honest with you. But yeah, on cryptocurrency market cap, you can click on market once you're under Litecoin or Light Doji, and it'll tell you what exchanges offer Light Doji to trade. But to be honest with you, it might not be an exchange that I would trust or a reputable exchange. You got to remember, some of these exchanges are just mainly there for pump and dumps. That's all that they're there for. Yeah, Tracy, thank you for clarifying that about the interest. That's interesting. So usury is interest charged to everything. Sheriff prohibits banks from charging interest, and I think they prohibit their citizens from actually profiting from interest as well too. When I worked at a bank, I dealt with a lot of people from the Middle East, a lot of people from all over the world, and they would come up to me and say, "Yeah, I want to start a bank account, but I don't want any interest. Like I can't take the interest. Like, it has to be zero interest." And we would have to kind of finagle the system to not pay them an interest. But yeah, that is the culture in the Middle East. Not everywhere, I don't think, but with some countries where you can't profit off the interest or something to that extent. 1036 in Texas. Yeah, it's about an hour difference from where you are. So I got 1137, 1136. Yeah, I'm surprised there's $100 premium. Is that in USD? I'm assuming. It's asking for a referral code, really. Let me see. I've never seen that on Bitfinex. But let me see if I can find a referral code. That would be interesting. Verification reports. Huh, if you guys know if there is a referral code for Bitfinex, let me know where to find it. And I would be happy to provide that to you, Terry. That'd be awesome if you could use a referral code that I have. But I will try to see where that might be. Yeah, I just got deposits, withdrawals, wallet, help center. Maybe under help center. I know I'm missing some of these comments, so I do apologize. Yeah, I don't know, bud. When I set up my Bitfinex, it didn't ask me anything about referral code. Trevor, you're asking if he's from India. If I'm from India, or if somebody else is from India. Tom Vase is selling off the exchanges. He did a live chat on Tuesday. What do you mean selling off the exchanges? Like, he's getting rid of all his coins on the exchange? Is that what you mean? Because he doesn't own the exchanges to sell them. The Dubai review, that's interesting. There's a clothing exporter's customer who was in a third world country, and he's willing to pay 5% over the market price. And you believe it's an ongoing thing? Interesting. Yeah, that's a big premium, Trevor. That's huge. Where you said $100 difference? Yeah, that's overly inflated for some apparent reason. That effect hasn't really, if it's at 250 now, that effect really hasn't moved over to some of these U.S. exchanges. So about 4 minutes, guys. I'm gonna end this live stream. I do have to get ready to go pick up my daughter from school. Yeah, the question is, Trevor, is how is he going to facilitate the transfer? I mean, if he's looking to purchase $100,000 worth of Ether, and somebody's willing to give him the Ether, and he's willing to pay a premium, how's he going to facilitate that order? Is he going to send the person the cash first, and then they'll send him the Ether? Is he going to trust them to send him the Ether? Or, is he going to request that somebody send him the Ether first, and then is that person going to trust him to send the cash? So it's a little risky for me. But yeah, I cannot find anything about a code on Bitfinex, about a referral code. Let me try Googling it. Yeah, people are saying, yeah, this is something I'm going to have to research. I won't do it on the live stream because that'll take too long to figure this out. But who was asking me? Was it Trevor? Terry, you're the one that was asking me. Yeah, Terry, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of research on that. And if I do have a referral code, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put it on the description at the bottom of this video. And then you can click on that, and it'll probably be under support this channel. So I currently have a Coinbase affiliate link, Amazon affiliate link, as well as a Purse IO affiliate link. So I'll go ahead and put that underneath the Shop Amazon affiliate link if I can get one to generate. But thank you so much. I mean, I appreciate you thinking of me and asking, if I have a referral code. That's awesome, bud. Thank you so much. Yeah, Trevor, there's a huge disconnect. I mean, you've got to remember this is a decentralized exchange. It's not centralized at all like the stock market is. The stock market, it doesn't really matter what exchange I'm using. The price is going to be the same all across the board. There's no difference at all. But with having different price fluctuations with different exchanges, it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing, to be honest with you, because somebody could just run it up on one exchange for no apparent reason, and then people see that it's running up on one exchange, and what are they going to do? They're going to end up, buying at a different exchange to do the arbitrage, if they can do the arbitrage at a lower price on the other exchange, which would cause the price to kind of go up on the other exchange. So yeah, I mean, it could be a good thing or it could be a dangerous thing. Or somebody sees that, BTC's tanking on one exchange and it happens to be doing nothing on the other exchange, they might just sell out of fear of panicking because it's selling off on a different exchange. Yeah, but they're definitely not in sync at all, and it'll never be in sync, to be honest with you, as long as it stays decentralized. It can never be in sync. Every exchange is going to have their own price action, their own volume. So you really can't base your trade based on what one exchange is telling you. So, Trevor, do you live in Vietnam right now? Are you currently? I think you're currently in Vietnam, but I don't know if you live in Vietnam. Yeah, the Dubai review. Dubai's actually been a place I've always wanted to visit, and I had a chance to have a layover in Dubai when I was flying into Eritrea. But unfortunately, the route that I ended up taking was from JFK to Germany, Germany to Egypt, Egypt to Yemen, which was pretty crazy, and then Yemen to Eritrea. But my original plan was to actually go from from Germany to Dubai, have a layover of 3 hours, and then from Dubai to Eritrea, but that never happened. But yeah, Dubai is definitely a place that I would love to visit one day. Yeah, if anybody's on Steam, definitely follow me as well too, and follow Tracy. I think Tracy, you're on Steam, and I think I followed you yesterday. But yeah, there's a link at the bottom of this, and yeah, I mean, this is a community, and let's all follow each other and support each other as best as we can, and that's the best way for this community to really grow. Yeah, Terry, that is awesome, man. I'm gonna once I get off this live stream, and I should have been off already, but I gotta go pick up my daughter, and then I will definitely be researching that. And then what I'll do is, like I said, I'll put it the description on the bottom of this video. And Dubai Review, I'll definitely check out your channel on YouTube. Tracy, I'm glad you found this information helpful, and I really enjoy people sharing information, and that's the only way to basically gain that knowledge and gain that power is by collectively sharing information, because we all don't know everything. There's a lot of things that you guys know that I don't know, so I appreciate you guys sharing that information with me and sharing it with everybody else. Trevor, that's awesome. Yeah, my wife is from Vietnam. She was adopted when she was little to an American family. So we got 3 kids that are half Vietnamese. But all right, guys, I definitely want to thank you so much for joining this live stream. I mean, this was great. And having 31 people watching this live stream and having 11 likes, I mean, it definitely made my day. And if you guys want to definitely keep this conversation going, sign up to our general chat room. And this conversation could definitely keep going. There's a lot of great people there that are always chatting. And once you're in our general chat room, you'll have the ability to upgrade to the traders chat room, which is an actual place where technical fundamental analysis, charts, and things like that are being shared on different types of trade ideas. But I definitely want to thank you guys, for joining this live stream. Definitely protect those profits. Keep an eye out for volatility because it can happen when we least expect it to. And don't forget to put in those low ball buy offers, or those high sell offers, especially those low ball buy offers. I mean, because you really have nothing to lose. It's either going to execute or it's not going to execute. And then if it does execute, you'll be waking up with a nice smile on your faces because the price will recover if it has that violent, crazy dip. But yeah, definitely, protect those profits. Happy trading, happy weekend, everybody. I hope you guys enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend. Until Monday, or another day that I decide to do a live stream. Aside from Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, that's hopefully I'll be able to do a live stream on Saturday. But until then, this is Crypto Traders. Have a great weekend, and thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. And if you do have any questions, definitely leave them in the comment after this video is uploaded. That's the best thing to do, and I will do my best to get to those comments for you guys. But thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. And have a great day.